7, you can see this, the faith in his utterance. Then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the name of the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. This day will the Lord deliver you into my hand, and I will smite you, and take your head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. Now this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with the sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands. Somebody say aloud, amen. There were a lot of things I learned from David in this place. First of all, I learned that you don't rely on your physical strength or arm when you are confronting diabolic powers. You don't rely on your physical strength. David never relied. I learned that you don't ever allow the enemy to have a final say. Don't, and whenever your destiny is being decided, never keep quiet. This man told David, I will tear you to pieces. Some people will just go with such a statement. Not David. After David spoke, after the giant spoke, David spoke. After the giant spoke, David spoke. David ensured that he was the person to say the final word. Are you hearing what I'm saying here today? In all situations of life, never allow the enemy have the final say. Never allow the devil have the final say. Ensure that when the devil speaks, you speak. When the devil speaks, you speak. You keep on speaking until the devil has said nothing anymore. Whenever your destiny is being decided, whether it is in front of an interview or anywhere, don't keep quiet. Counter it. Say something. He said, as you have spoken in my ears, so will I do. David declared the outcome of the battle while the battle was yet to be fought. That is how to live. Declare the end from the beginning. Don't wait for it to end. Declare the end from the beginning. Am I speaking to somebody here? Declare the end from the beginning. And then we went to the National Stadium for a crusade in 2007. That would be 18 years ago. It was overwhelmed. We did it 3 times: July, August, September. And then they said they won't give it out for church use anymore. I announced to the people there and then that this thing they said they won't give for church use anymore, we will build our own stadium. But the difference between their own and our own is that our own will have a roof. When there is rain, it won't fall on us, because rain fell on us there. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I said it to the hearing of the people. And after a short while, it came to pass. I sent one of our property agents, called him, anointed him, sent him to the same address. Go to that road. Well, I won't get to the detail of that. Anointed him. This is your job. Go and look for a property. When you go heading to the airport, by your right, after so and so, check. Our property is there. Under 7 days, he returned. And he said, I have seen property over 500 hectares. And they are ready to sell as much as we are ready to buy. When your destiny is in contention, silence is an enemy. When your future is in contention, silence is an enemy. David saw the victory. And then he saw the victory. He saw the victory before the victory happened. Do you know what he told the giant? He said, come to me and I will cut off your head. Pastor, you know there was no knife in David's hand. There was no sword in his hand. Which sword will he use to cut off a man's head? He was eyeing the sword of the enemy. Hey! 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 I am here to announce to somebody what the enemy is trying to use against you. God will take it, give it to you, and cause you to use it against them. If you believe that, shout the Lord and say amen. Napoleon Bonaparte, the rugged military general, they once asked him, supposing you are going to battle, please sit down. You are going in for battle, and there is no food supply for your military force, what will you do? He said, I wouldn't have any problem provided there is food in the enemy's camp. That is, I will whip the enemy and carry their food. Hey! 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 The last time the devil, the enemy, succeeded against you is the last forever. You are saying amen. Shout it out and say amen. Take your seat and let's begin to round off. And then that was David. These were people who dominated by faith. Things were not, there was no victory on ground, but they declared it. They saw it. They went for it. They dominated by faith. And of course, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego is the third example. In Daniel chapter 3 verse 17 all the way to verse 18. Daniel 3:17 all the way. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Now, one thing to know about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was first that they knew the capability of their God. One of the worst things that can happen to any child of God is not to know the size of the God you serve. The capability, the capacity, the obadabadaness. You understand what I'm saying? The massiveness. It's not to know the size of your. He said, we know this God. He is able to deliver us, and he will. They didn't just know it, they said it. And then they added a clause. But even if he doesn't, which means in case he chooses another pathway, because he has the right to choose any pathway. If he chooses another pathway of intervention, we will still not bow. So what do you do in situations of life? You leave room for whatever approach God chooses to give you intervention. Because many times we are looking in one direction and God is trying to come in another direction, and people get discouraged. You give room, and these three people dominated by faith. There are more examples, but I'm conscious. Caleb, David, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Pastor, coincidentally, this year is our year of Dominion 2025. And give the Lord a big clap. And I just heard that it's the same here. Give the Lord a bigger clap and a louder shout of praise. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word is confirmed. So it is confirmed to you that you are walking in dominion and no devil can stop it. You are functioning in dominion and no devil can stop it. If you believe that, shout the loudest amen. Take your seat. And the Lord gave me 10 pillars of our dominion operation this year. And I'll say to you, what are the dimensions of dominion we expect? Number 1 is taking charge of domains of influence. Whatever is your domain of influence, you took charge there. You are the doctor who took charge of your medical field. You are the lawyer who took charge of your legal field. You are the sports person or the entertainment person who took charge, taking charge of domains of influence. Number 2 is taking charge of life's situations and circumstances. That in this dominion that we're expecting in 2025, we are taking charge of life's situations and circumstances. That is, the dominion of God forbids that we are at the mercy of the enemy. You are at the mercy of a disease. You are at the mercy of an affliction. You are at the mercy of a pain. Taking charge of life's situations and circumstances. And number 3 is the one I like very well. is called having it the way you want it. Having it the way you want it. That is truly reflecting the image and likeness of the Creator. Our dominion includes taking charge of domains of influence. It includes taking charge of life circumstances and situations. It includes having it the way we want it. Number 4 is judgmental and vengeance operation. Dominion includes the deployment of judgmental and vengeance mantle against all who rebel against the authority of God and the authority of his people. Judgmental and vengeance mantle, the kind of operation that withered the hand of King Jeroboam when he wanted to slap the man of God from Judah and his hand dried up in the air. The kind of operation that Moses said, if you people die the normal death of all humans, God has not called me. And the earth opened and swallowed up the company of Korah alive. The time that Elijah said, if I be a man of God, let fire fall. And then fire landed. Are you hearing what I'm saying here today? I see, I'm not talking of pastors in operation. I'm talking of the children of God. I'm talking of yourself. Those who tried you and succeeded last year, they will try you and be buried this year.